He was so long alone, dehe paryantah vilambah chiram. That so long alone he has to wait. Atha dehapata anantaram vidwan brahma sampachate. Meaning atha thereafter, when the body drops off, then the wise man brahma sampachate. He attains Brahman, becomes one with Brahman. Videhe kaivalyam anubhavati ityartha. So atha para brahmatmana sthiyatam. Para brahmatmana sthiyatam, meaning that he is Brahman. He was Brahman, but then he is Brahman because even that apparent limitation of the body also is not there. So this body is considered to be some kind of an obstacle in moksha. Moksha in primary sense, the body is considered to be some kind of an obstacle for the wise man also, because the body has its own limitation. It has its own pains, etc. When the mind also is there and the mind also has its own diseases, body also has diseases, and therefore these diseases we may find even wise men also. There is a story in fact, that such a great sage is Vasishtha. He had 100 sons, Vasishtha. And there was at some point in time an animosity with Vishwamitra, because Vishwamitra wanted Vasishtha to perform a yaga so that Trishanku can go to heavens in this body, and Vasishtha said, this is stupid, it can't be done. He was outright rejected. Then Vishwamitra went to his sons, who were also equally great, and said that I want you to perform a yaga. The sons were ready, but when they came to know that their father has declined, he said, no, we can't do this. Vishwamitra was so angry with them that he sent his army and got all the 100 sons killed. When Vasishtha came back and saw that his sons were killed, he was so grieved, that he decided to give up his life. And he went to that river, what is called Vipasha, or some river he went to, and jumped into the river. The river was afraid, scared, that if Vasishtha dies in me, that I will be discredited with Brahma Hatya. So river says, I don't want to be stuck with this sin of Brahma Hatya or Brahmavit Hatya. So what the river did is, it did not allow that body to get sunk. So body was floated, and ultimately the river discarded the body. And therefore Vasishtha could not die in spite of plunging in the water. And again, that still the grief did not go. So Vasishtha decided, this is a story by the way, So then he tied big rocks on his body, and then he plunged into. Now what can the river do? There is no way that the river can discard this. So river, in order to again be saved from the sin of Brahma Hatya, got dried up completely. The river got completely dried, and therefore also Vasishtha did not die. Then Vasishtha was still angry and did not know what to do, and how am I going to kill myself? At that time, the river appears before Vasishtha in the form of a woman. And then Vasishtha is seen grieving. He says, you are Brahmagnani, you are Brahmavit, why are you grieving? Grief doesn't befit you. It doesn't behoove you to grieve. Vasishtha started smiling. He says, well, who is grieving? He says, after all, you see, Brahmagnani I am, but still this body is there, and the body has its own diseases. The mind also is there. Mind also has its own modes. Prakasham cha, pravritim cha, moha, sattva, rajas, tamas. All these things are there in the mind, and therefore, the mind also sometimes shows disease. What do I have to do with it? And that's how we started discussing Brahma Charcha started there. And that river asked various questions. In this Brahma Charcha, the grief went away. The river also went away, Vasishtha also went away. This is a story. But then, so idea is that even for a wise man, as long as the upadhi is there, this kind of diseases, because the body continues to retain its own nature, and mind also seems to continue to retain its own idiosyncrasies, and therefore we seem to find this kind of idiosyncrasies or things even in the wise man also. So what do we do? Say from the standpoint of wise man, there is no prarabdha, etc. But still, some kind of an obstacle seems to remain, and that also goes away when the upadhi also drops off by the exhaustion of prarabdha. Therefore, videhe, what's the big deal about videhe kaivalyam? This Jivan Mukti is a real phala. Videhe kaivalyam is not the phala as far as we are concerned. We don't want to enjoy mukti after this death. Who knows? Well, who knows means we accept it, but then I don't know that. So Jivan Mukti is a real phala. That you are liberated while living. That is a real phalam. But still, Chandogya Upanishad talks about Jivan Mukti and says that there is something called Videha Mukti, and as much as this little obstacle, apparent obstacle, the Anandagiri calls it Avidya Lesha, remains, and that also goes away when the Prarabdha is exhausted. Videha Kaivalyam Anubhavati Ityartha. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sūtra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Atha Om Atha Om Atha Bhattu Samanvaya 130. The last line of the Bhashya. Sarveshu hi Vedanteshu Vakyani Tatparyena Etasyarthasya Pradipadakatvena Samanugatani Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asid Ekameva Dvitiyam Atma va Idameka Evagra Asid Tadetad Brahma Apurvam Anaparam Anantaram Abhahyam Ayamatma Brahma Sarvanubhuhu Brahmai Vedamamritam Purastad Ityadini. Ityadini Vakyani Tatparyen Etasyarthasya Pratipadakatvena Samanugatani. All these Vakyas, Sadeva Somi Idamagrasid, and all these and similar Vakyas, Tatparyena, the purport of all these Vakyas, the statements, Etasya Arthasya. What is Etasya Arthasya? That Brahma, Vedanta Shastra Deva Gamyate, namely Brahman is the subject matter or the purport of all the Vedanta, and that all the Vakyas that you just quoted, which Vakyas fall in the category of Spashta Brahmalingaka Vakya, meaning those which very clearly, without any doubt, expound Brahman. So all of these, the purport of the Vedanta is in Brahman, which is very clear from this and other statements. Now Ratnabhakara is discussing this on page 133, explaining Vakyas one after the other, discussing how the Upakramadi Shadlingaihi Vedantanam Advitiya Akhanda Brahmani Tatparinayat. That when you apply this, the Shadlinga, the method of analysis for ascertaining the Tatparya, the purport of the text, then we find that the Vedantas have their Tatparya or the purport in Brahma. This is the Nirnaya, this is the ascertainment with which we come to. He Somya Uddalakaha Putram Vacha. He Somya Pridarshana Idam Sarvam Jagad Agre Utpattehe Prakale Sadabaditam Brahmaivasit. Thus, how Chandogya Upanishad as an illustration begins with Brahma, and Upasamhara also is in Brahman, Ekame, Aitadatmadam Sarvam, this is the Upasamhara. Then, Tattvamasi iti Navakrutvaha Abhyasaha. 9 times this teaching Tattvamasi is repeated. That shows abhyasa, repetition. रूपादहीन अद्वितीय ब्रह्मण मानांतर अयोग्यत्वाद अपूर्वत्व मुक्तम अत्र वाव किल सत सौम्य न निभालय से. By saying that, hey Soumya, even though Brahman is very much in this body, still you don't see it. Just as the salt is very much in this water and still you don't see. Meaning, for seeing the salt, you require a pramanam which is appropriate, and that is the taste. And similarly also, for seeing Brahman which is in this body, which is very much present, you require Shastra as a pramanam. So Shastrasya pramanyatvam is ascertained there by the illustration. तस्य तावदेव चिरम यावन्न विमोक्षे अथ संपत्सेदि ब्रह्मज्ञानात् फलमुक्तम विदुषः विदेह कैवल्यम अनुभवति. The phalam of Brahmajnana is Jivan Mukti as well as Videha Mukti. One is liberated while alive, and of course one is liberated without any obstacle whatever once the body drops off, and thus the phalam also is very clearly stated there. Then Arthavada and Upapattihi. So these two other lingas, now that's in the last line here. अनेन जीवेन आत्मा अनुपविश्य इत्यादि अद्वितीय ज्ञानार्थः अर्थवादः. अनेन जीवेन आत्मा अनुप्रविश्य नाम रूपे व्याकरवाणी. That Sat or Brahman deliberates like this, that I will enter these three elements as their very self, and then I will manifest various names and forms. Thus, these three elements have the ability of manifestation of names and forms is because they enjoy grace. And thus, it is Brahman alone which is the material cause which enters, that's the story, enters the elements as the very self and manifests itself as the various names and forms. Anena jivena atmana. As a jivatma, I will enter. So these upadhis also I will enter as a jivatma. Not that I will become jivatma, but I will function as jivatma and I will manifest myself as various names and forms. Namani kritva abhivadan yadaste sarvani bhutani vichitya dhirah. Namani kritva abhivadan yadaste. Sarvani rupani, having created all the forms, this Brahman or the Lord entered every form, and now Namani kritva, claiming himself under various names like Devadatta, Yajnadatta. So he claims himself to be of various names. Abhivadan yadaste. He says, I am Devadatta, I am Yajnadatta, or I am happy and happy. In this manner, yadaste, this is Brahman alone. So to show the identity between Jiva and Brahma is this Pravesha Shruti. But this is considered as Arthavada. Why is it so? On page 134, the first line, Purnanandi explains, Vyapakasya Pravesha Bhavat Arthavada iti bhavaha. How can Brahma enter anywhere? Vyapakaha. Ishvara is Vyapakaha, all pervasive. So how can there be a Pravesha or entry of Brahman in anything? If there is a place where Brahman is not, that is where entry of Brahman can be, like Devadatta entering a house. Cannot be. So Vashyakara thus discusses various possibilities of entry in a primary sense. Whether Devadatta enters a house, is it in this manner like a bird entering a nest? In that manner has Brahman entered this body. Or even if Devadatta may not enter the house, it may be said that one limb of Devadatta enters another limb, like hand of Devadatta entering his mouth, So you may say that Brahman is all pervasive and therefore there is not a place where Brahman is not. So Brahman entering in a place where it is not, that is not possible. Because Brahman is everywhere. Alright, let us imagine that Brahman has limbs and the one limb of Brahman entered into another limb. Like my hand, Devadatta's hand entering his mouth. Is this kind of an entry? He says no, it is partless and therefore that entry is not possible. Thus different cases of entry are analyzed and then you come to the conclusion that this pravesha cannot be there in primary sense. Even though tat srishtva tadevanu praveshada, Upanishad clearly says that having created these upadhis, names and forms, Brahman entered. But that entry is not possible. And therefore, entry has to be understood only in a secondary sense. Aupacharikataya. So upachara again, what for? Then why is it when entry of Brahman is not possible, why does the Upanishad say that Brahman has entered the name and form? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Because earlier the statement was made, the Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Brahma is in fact Satyam Jnanamanantam. And before that, Brahmavid Apnodi Param. The knower of Brahma attains limitless. So this is Sutra Vakya. And knower of Brahman. So what is the nature of that Brahma? What's the nature of that knowledge? What's the nature of that Param? And what's the nature of Apnodi? Brahma with Apnodi Param. What is Brahma? Brahmavid, what's the nature of knowledge of Brahman? Or how is Brahman to be known? What's the nature of attainment? And what's the nature of limitless that he attains? So such a short sentence explains, Sutra it is called, like the aphorism. And this is explained by the mantra, Brahman. What's the nature of Brahman? Which a wise man knows? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. How does he come to know? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. In Parama Vyoman, mean in the cave of the heart, there is a supreme space which is Brahman. And in that manner, one who comes to know Brahman as dwelling in one's own heart, meaning as the very self. So, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam reveals that Brahman is to be known Pratyagatmataya as the very self. So, Brahmavid Apnodi Param, knower of Brahma attains limitless. In what manner the wise man knows Brahman as the very self? How do you say he knows it as the very self? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. One who knows Brahman as located or as shining in one's own heart. So Brahman shines as a self in one's heart. And that is what is to be shown by the Pravesha Shruti. That Brahman entered, having created a name and form, Brahman entered. Meaning the one who obtains at the moment as the very self is Brahman alone, and in that manner it is to be known. And thus to explain that Vakya, Yo Veda Nahitam Guhayam, is this whole story of Pravesha, Brahman entering. Because if you say that Brahman created the whole world, if God created the whole world, he only becomes Nimitta Karanam, standing apart from the world. Says no, he doesn't stand apart from the world. Having created the world, he entered the world. That entry is to be understood as identification. He identified himself as Adehi, he became by identification with as Aham and Mama. And so this is how the purpose of entry is to explain something else. Therefore it is called, it doesn't have Tatparya purport in its own primary meaning. It has a purport in explaining something else. Therefore it is called Arthavadah. So Vyapakasya Pravesha Bhavat Arthavadah iti Bhavah. Then continuing on the page 134, Mrudadi Dushtandaihi Prakriti-atirekena Vikaro nasti dupattihi upta Yatha Somya ekena mritpindena Sarvam mrunmaya vijnadam syad Vacharambhanam Vikaro namadhayam Mritrika etyeva satyam. This statement and these other illustrations that Vacharambhanam Vikaro namadhayam, what we call Vikara or modification of product is Vacharambhanam, is only in the name. Thus what we call a product or an effect has no reality apart from the name. Whatever reality a name or a sound has, that much reality this product has. So the sound part or the name part, whatever its reality, that is the reality of the object part, nothing more than that. Because in reality that object is nothing but clay. And still we call it part. And therefore, what is the reality of that part? The idea is that whenever you use a word, there must be an object corresponding to the word. So when you use the word part, there must be an object corresponding to that word part. Which is that object? That object, which is characterized by a big stomach, etc. But when you analyze that object, examine that object, what is it? It turns out to be only clay. So when you use the word clay, then there is a corresponding object there called clay. But when you use the word part, there is no corresponding object. All there is clay. And still you call it part. And therefore, part, object part doesn't have reality of its own. Its reality is only of the nature of the name part. And therefore, the part doesn't really have any separate existence. It cannot exist apart from clay, which is Prakriti or material cause. So Prakriti atirekena, apart from the material cause, Vikaraha nasti, Vikara means a modification or a creation is not there. And therefore, the mithyatvam of creation is proven there. By one and those illustrations, all that is shown there is that any kind of a creation is mithya. Because what we call the effect is nothing but its material cause. And therefore an effect is not separate from material cause, and therefore there is no such thing as an effect apart from material cause. And therefore all that is real is the cause. And when there is no effect, even that cause also is not a cause. And this is how the mithyatvam of the creation is proven there. This is upapattihi. Thus, evam षड्विधानि तात्पर्यलिंगानि व्यस्तानि समस्तानि वा प्रतिवेदांतम दृश्यन्ते. Evam षड्विधानि तात्पर्यलिंगानि. Thus, all this तात्पर्यलिंga, all the 6 vyastani, samastani, either individually or in their entirety. Prativedantam drishyante. In every Vedanta we find one or more or all of these Tatparya Linga. It is not necessary that all of them have to be there. Each one of them is a Linga for Tatparya, understand? Each one of the 6 is an indicator of Tatparya of the purport. If you find all the 6 well and good, there is no need that all the 6 must be found. Vyastani, meaning individually. Samastani, in their totality, may be found in all the Vedantas. And to show that they are found in all the Vedantas, and therefore the Tatparya of all the Vedanta is in Brahman, to show that, Bhashyakara gives illustrations from other Upanishads also. Iti aitareyaka upakrama pathati atma vaiti. So, Aitareya Upakrama Vakya, the very first Vakya of Aitareya Upanishad, Pathati, that's all. To give us just hints. So, you refer to this man, you will find these lingas. If you study the Upanishad, so Bhashyakara just gives hints here. Atma vai idameka eva agre ekaha eva agre asit. Again the same thing. There again, Atma is the first word, but idam is really that which is nirdesham. That which is indicated there is idam, this whole creation was before, the whole universe before its creation was Atma alone. And that meant then again, there also Aitareyake and Prajnanam Brahma, ultimately the conclusion is Prajnanam Brahma. Meaning what is referred to as Atma here is referred to as Brahma there. Or Idam Tatatamam Apashyada. So Tatatamam means that which is all pervasive. And so when he inquired as to who am I, he discovered the very self as all-pervasive Brahma. And that is how it begins with Brahma and also concludes with Brahman. Prakriti Vyatirekena, Upadana Karana Vyatirekena, Vyasta Ekam Dvayam Trayava Tatparigrahakam Bhavati Iti Bhavaha. Says Purnanandya, 1 or 2 or 3 lingas Tatparigrahakam Bhavati, enables us to see the Tatparya there. Samastani militani ityartha. Bahutvam tu dhardi sampadakam bhava. If one Tatparya linga is enough, why 6? If one linga is enables us to see the Tatparya, why 6? Bahutvam tu dhardi sampadakam. If there are more than one, then it just makes the idea firm, that's all. Okay. Now, Ratnabhavakara explains this Vakya from Tadetat Brahma Purvam, that Vakya from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is explained by Ratnabhavakara. Brihadaranyake Madhukanda Upasamhara Vakyam. Now here is Upasamhara Vakyam quoted instead of Upakrama. Sadatmanaha Nirvisheshatvartham ityaha Tadetatiti Sadatmanaha Nirvisheshatvartham. That Atma which is Sat is Nirvishesha. There is no Vishesha at all. So there again, again and again we find a negation of all the Vishesha or all the qualifications or all the attributes from the self. And this is one typical example. Tadetaditi. Tad etad Brahma. Tad means that. So which is that? Maya bihi bahurupam tad Brahma. That Brahman which appears as multifarious. That Brahman which appears in the whole universe. On account of Indraha, Maya bihi pururupa iyate. That Paramatma appears as many or multifold on account of his Maya. So that Brahman or Ishvara who appears manifold on account of his Maya, that Brahma in reality is what? Or even this Atma also, who appears as manifold, as Karta, Bhokta, etc., who is in reality? Etad Brahma, tad etad Brahma. Here, of course, Brahma is the Maya Shabalam. Tad etad Brahma. Etad means this, means what? Aparoksham. So that Brahman which is Maya Bhi Bahurupam, that which appears as multifarious on account of Maya, etad which alone is the very self, Aparoksham, is what? Apurvam. There is no Purvatvam, there is nothing before Brahman, Karana Shunyam. Purvam na vidyate yasya tad apurvam. That which doesn't have any Purvam, doesn't have anything before it. Brahman is that before which there is nothing. So that which exists before is called cause, because cause always exists before the effect, and Brahman doesn't have a cause, meaning Brahman is not the effect. Anaparam, aparam means later. So that which doesn't have later, Brahman is that which doesn't have any later. What is later? The effect comes later. And Brahman doesn't have any effect. Brahman itself is not the cause. So when it is said apurvam, Brahman is not the effect. Anaparam, Brahman is not a cause. So effectness also is negated, the causality also is negated. Anaparam karyarahitam. Anantaram, there is nothing antaram. Antaram means another. There is nothing other than Brahman. Jatyantaram asya nasti iti anantaram ekarasam ityartha. There is nothing other than Brahman. Other there is Brahman and there is something else. Jatyantaram, belonging to some other jati, either sajatiya or vijatiya. So there is nothing, no other Brahman, no there is anything other than Brahman of a different class, and therefore iti anantaram, Brahman is that which doesn't have anything other than, so advitiyam, it is non-dual, ekarasam, so that alone is, there is nothing other than Brahman. Abhahyam, abhahyam is advitiyam, there is nothing outside Brahman, okay. So outside Brahman means again advitiyam, so non-dual. That is what? Ayamatma Brahma Sarvanubhuhu. Tasya aparokshatvam upavadayati ayam. That Brahman such as this, which doesn't have a cause, which doesn't have an effect, which doesn't have anything other than itself, which is non-dual, that Brahman is what? Ayamatma. That Brahman is his very self. And so tasya aparokshatvam upapadayati. That Brahman is immediate, not something separate from me or separated in time, place or in any way. It is the very self. Sarvanubhuhu Ayamatma Brahma, and therefore this statement Ayamatma Brahma is often considered as, this is Mahavakya, which directly shows the identity between Atma and Brahman. Often it is supposed to belong, it's said to belong to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or to Mandukya Upanishad. So Sarvam hi etat Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Soyamatma Chatushpat. So that Ayamatma Brahma or Ayamatma Brahma here, because there is definite discussion of Brahman here. And then it is said, Ayamatma Brahma, Sarvanubhuhu, Sarvam Anubhavati iti Sarvanubhuhu, the one that experiences everything. In what manner does he experience? He is the experiencer of everything. That means what? He is the witness of everything. Chinmatram ityartha, the one who is the Sakshi. Always the experiencer is nothing but the Sakshi. So experiencer doesn't have to be taken in a primary sense of experiencing something, but one who witnesses everything, and therefore one who is a Sakshi. So Chinmatram is pure awareness, which doesn't have experiencer is not an experiencer. So experiencerness or that kind of a bhoktrutvam is not there also. Purely awareness which illumines everything. In that sense, he is called Sarvanubhuhu. And thus says Rug Yajus Samavakyani Uktva. Rug Vakya is what? Rug Veda is Atmava Idameka Evagrasa. This is the Aitareya Upanishad, which is Rug Veda. And then Sadeva Somidam Agrasit is Samveda. And then again Rug Veda also are two. Yajurveda Tadetat Brahma Apurvam. This is the Yajurveda. And thus from each Veda Bhashyakara quoted a Vakya. Rug Yajus Samavakyani. Since the order is not Rug Yajus Sama, therefore the Tippani Tikakara has to clarify. I don't think that Sadeva Somya comes into Rug Veda and Atmava Idameka comes in the Yajurveda and Tadetat Brahma comes in Samveda. It's not that way. It's the order is not the same. So Atma va idamekaiva ityadi Rugvadyam Tadetad Brahma ityadi Yajurvakyam Sadeva Swami ityadikam Samvakyam iti vibhagah. Okay. Acharana Vakyamaha. Why should it be separated by any Acharana Vakyam, So then fourth is Atharva Veda. Brahma Vedam Amrutam Purastad. Brahma Paschad. So this is how Brahma Dakshinatascha Uttarena. This is how Brahma alone is that which is behind, Brahma alone is in front, Brahma alone is in right, left, above, below, and everything is Brahman alone. So, yastu purastad purvadik vastujadam tad Brahma. Purastad also can be both ways, in front or that which is in the east. When you say Dakshina, so Dakshina can be on the right, or Dakshina can be on the right, or it is that is the north. Uttara is the left, the Uttara is north or the left, and Dakshina is right or the south. Purastad is the front or east. Paschad is back or west. That is how it is. Because naturally, when you face the north, then this is how the directions are. And when you face the east, then east is the front, and then north, south, and west is the back. This is how the directions are, and that is how directions are either called that way, either way. So, yastu purastad, that which is in the front, or purvadik vastujatam, or that which obtains in the purva disha, all of that is Brahma alone. So, Brahmaiva amrutam, Brahma eva idam amrutam, Brahman that is immortal alone, is that which in the purva, meaning in the east, or the west, or the north, south, and everywhere. So, Brahman is everything in short. So, sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Idam abbrahmaiva avidusham bhati tat amrutam brahmaiva tasvastu vidusham ityartah. Why did it say it? Because we don't see Brahman in front of us or at the back or anywhere. We don't see Brahman. So that which is abbrahmaiva avidusham bhati. So brahmaiva idam amrutam. Idam is that which is evident, you see. So that which is evident. Otherwise you might say that something in the east is Brahman. So we look for Brahman. Or something behind is Brahman. So we look for some peculiar thing as Brahman. So idam. So that which shines as idam. So that which is evidently shining as a very object, or that which you perceive evidently itself is Brahman. How come I don't see Brahman? Says that which is avidusham abbrahmaiva bhati. For the ignorant people, that which appears as non-Brahman or a-Brahman, which doesn't appear as God, is indeed God alone. And that is the idea there. Amrutam brahmaiva vastu vidusham, for Vidwan, for the wise people, it is Brahman that is immortal, and that is what the Upanishad says. Ityadini adipadena satyam jnanam ityadi vakyani grihyante. That Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma becomes the Upakrama, Brahma Pucham Pratishtha becomes the Upasamhara. In this manner, in Taittiriya Upanishad also you can see the different lingas, and thus, whenever we analyze the statements of any Upanishad, we find that the Tatparya, the purport, is in Brahman, which is Advitiyam. Then continuing, Nanu Astu Brahmanah Tatparya Vishayatvam Vedantanam Karyameva Artha Kim Nasyadi Tatraha. Okay. Nanu Astu Brahmanah Tatparya Vishayatvam Vedantanam. Okay. We accept your contention that Brahman is the purport of Vedantas. All the Upanishads are devoted to revealing Brahman. Okay. So what? Karyameva Artha Kim Nasyad. Just because Upanishads reveal Brahman, that doesn't mean that Upanishads are not Karyaparaha. Our problem here is to show whether Upanishads are Karyaparaha or not. Meaning, are Upanishads devoted to action or not? Let Upanishads be devoted to revealing Brahman, but we still say that Upanishads are devoted to karma anyway. In some way or the other, even though Upanishads reveal Brahman, they only reveal Brahman as some accessory of karma. So even by proving that Brahman is the purport of all the Upanishads, we have not yet released ourselves from that contention. So alright, Upanishads do reveal Brahman. We don't say that it doesn't. Now we will have to say it, alright, since you have proven it. But then also we say that even though Upanishads reveal Brahman, still the purpose is to reveal karma one way or the other. That means that even the devotion of Upanishad to Brahman is for only praising the karma and nothing else. Why not that way? So why not all these vakyas be arthavada? And why not that they have the tatparya in revealing this karta and the devata? And that is how extol karma directly or indirectly and thus become vidishesha. Why not that way? Nachahiti, and this is answer. Now one by one, the Purva Pakshas which were discussed earlier are just brought up and then they are answered one by one. Nachahiti, says Bhashyakara, Nacha tadgatanam padanam brahmaswarupa vishaye nischite samanvaye avagамyamane अर्थांतर कल्पना युक्ता श्रुतहानि अश्रुत कल्पना प्रसंगा इसे न च तद्गतानां पदानां ब्रह्मस्वरूप विषय निश्चिते. When thus by the tatparya nirnaya, when we have ascertained that all the padas or words and the statements of the Upanishads, all of them ultimately have their purport in revealing Brahman, Brahma Swarupa Vishaya Nischite. That all the words have their purport in revealing Brahman, when that fact is ascertained, Samanvaye Avagamyamane. And not only that, it is one Upanishad that is devoted to Brahman, but all the Upanishads are devoted to Brahman, and therefore all the Upanishads are in agreement. They are in concurrence as far as their subject matter is concerned. Tasmin sati arthantar kalpana na yukta. Then it is not proper for you to imagine that the Upanishads are still devoted to karma. When we have shown so clearly the Upanishads are devoted to Brahman, arthantar kalpana, another artha means another prayojanam. That Upanishads have some other prayojanam, that kind of a kalpana, na yukta, is not proper. Shrutahani ashruta kalpana prasangat. But Shruti, so when the Shrutahani, when Shruti actually expounds something very clearly, to give up that and to imagine something that the Shruti does not expound, Shrutahani ashruta kalpana, this is a dosha. When I am saying something and still you understand it differently, sometimes this problem happens, But I am saying that if somebody says something and still somebody imagines something else on that, this also commonly happens, That you say very clearly in certain words, and people say, no, but you meant this. How can I mean this, When I claim the Shruti is the immediate Tatparya. First Linga, then Linga comes. So Linga is when some kind of an inference is possible. But when the words very clearly say something, there is no need for you to infer something else. See, similarly also, when words are not clear, or words do not directly make sense, or words do not directly say something, sometimes you don't want to directly say something, then you want to just indicate by inference. Then Linga comes. And sometimes even indication also is not there. Then Vakya comes, something else, some other kind of a statement is made, and Prakarana, otherwise some context is there. So very often, there are times when you cannot say things directly, then you indicate them. Sometimes you cannot even indicate them, then you suggest them. In this manner, so which is considered to be the most powerful way of interpreting the statement? That which is direct meaning is considered to be the most powerful. Only when that is not applicable in a given context that you go for some kind of an inference. And when that is also not applicable, then you go for other kind of vakyas and other kind of suggestions there. But when Upanishads very clearly state that Brahman is the Upakrama, Upasamhara, all of these so clear, then to imagine that still they reveal karma, that kind of a kalpana, Shrutahani, Ashruta kalpana, discarding what the Shruti clearly says and imagining something that the Shruti does not say, no, that is great sahasam. You must have some very strong, so you must have some very strong argument for something like that. They will give the argument, but first of all, we do not find any words of Shruti which show that the Shruti is devoted to karma. There is no direct statement of the Shruti or Upanishad which says that it is devoted to karma. Then you have to find some linga, etc. And that's what they will find, you see. says Ratnabhavakara, Vedantanam Brahmani Tatparye Nischiyamane Karyarthatvam na yuktam. Vedantanam Brahmani Tatparye Nischiyamane. When it is very clear that Vedantas have their Tatparya or purport in Brahman, Karyarthatvam na yuktam, to imagine that Vedanta is still devoted to karma is not proper. Yat parashabdaha sa shabdartha iti nyayat. That the meaning of the word is what is the purport of the word or what is intended to be conveyed by the word and not something that you imagine in the word. Ityartha. Tatparya nischiyamana means bodhakatve nischiyamana, that this is what Vedanta makes us, want us to see, want us to know. Yat parahir yasmin shabdasya tatparyam sayava shabdartha iti nyayat. So yat para means wherever the tatparya or the purport of the word is, that should be considered as the meaning of the word. As you say, saindhavam, anaya, what is the purport of the speaker there is in salt and not in horse. And therefore the word saindhava should be interpreted there as salt and not horse. You said saindhava, so I brought it, that's all, Sometimes saindhavam, anaya, please bring saindhava, this fellow brought a horse. You told me saindhavam, that's why I brought it, So I told, there are very common this kind of conversation or dialogues are very common, isn't it? But then what's the purport there? Saindhava can mean different thing also, and therefore Saindhava in this case means salt and not horse. So yasmin tatparyam sayava shabdartha. Okay, then continuing further, say Ratnabhavakara, yuktam arthavadanyayana vedantanam kartradisthavakatvam. There are different nyayas. You present this nyaya. Yat parah shabdah sa shabdartha, that is one nyaya. Arthavada is another nyaya. Arthavadasya na swarthe tatparyam. So it is not that every time you take the meaning of the word. Because if it is arthavada, then it doesn't mean what it says, it means something else. And therefore it is not that words always mean what they say, words can mean something other than what they appear to say. That is called arthavada. And therefore it is not that every time you take necessarily the immediate meaning of the words, very often we have to take even the indirect meaning or suggestive meaning also. So yaduktam arthavadanyayana vedantanam kartradisthavakatvam. Arthavada is that which praises or extols something. Says karma mahatmyam kim vaktavyam karma kartadi satchidananda swarupah ityevam kartusthavakatvam ityartha. Says karma mahatmyam kim vaktavyam. Why to talk of the greatness of this karma? Whose karta is satchidananda, that is how it is. So we say Atma is satchidananda. So don't take it literally, So now this is what the statement is, Atma is satchidananda. Or Brahma is satyam jnanamanantam Brahma. That's what they say. Don't take it literally. Kim karma mahatmyam kim. What to talk of the glory of that karma? Of it Brahma is a devata. So there by satyam jnanamanantam Brahma, what is praised is a devata. And therefore karma in which this satyam jnanamanantam Brahma is a devata. What to talk of that karma? Or karma in which the Satchidananda Atma is the karta, what to talk of that karma? Or karma in which one gets established in Swarga, Anante Swarge Loke Pratitishthati, So where one gets established in Swarga Loka, Ananta Swarga Loka, that is a phalam, what to talk of that karma? And therefore by extolling phala, or extolling karta, or extolling devata, all that is intended is to glorify karma and nothing else. And therefore Vedantas do not have tatparya in their own self, their tatparya is in glorification of karma, and that is how they only serve the purpose of karma, they are only karma upakaraka. So there is vidisheshatvam or karma sheshatvam in Vedanta. This was stated earlier. Karma mahatmyam kim vaktavyam karma kartadi satchidananda swarupah ityevam, I don't know, karma kartadi, but anyway, karma karta satchidananda swarupah ityevam kartrasthavakatvam ityartha. That karma karta, the performer of the karma is satchidananda. When satchidananda performs karma, what to talk of that karma? And therefore, this is how these vakyas are interpreted as arthavada. And so, nacha tesham, the Bhashya says in the page 134, nacha tesham kartrasvarupa pratipadana parata avasiyate tatkenakam pashyed ityadi kriyakaraka फल निराकरण श्रुते है न च तेषां वेदांत वाक्यानां कर्तृस्वरूप प्रतिपादन परता अवसीयते. That kind of a thing you cannot say tat kenakam pashyed ityadi kriyakaraka, or that karta is the swarup of the atma. Also you cannot say. You cannot say that Satchidananda Atma is not the primary meaning. Atma really is only karta or a performer of the action and perform the action. That is the real nature of Atma. He just praised as Satchidananda. So what the Karmakandi says is that the karta, that is doer, is the real nature of Atma. But that Atma is praised as Satchit Ananda or Satyakamaha, Satya Sankalpaha, Ajaraha, Amara. In this manner, so Vishokaha, Vimrutyuhu, in this manner Atma is merely praised. And therefore, that is not the true nature of Atma. Who is Atma? Atma is merely karta or the performer of an action. And that is what actually Upanishad revealed there. It says, no, nacha tesham kartradi pratipadana parta avasiyate. That these vakyas suggest tattvamasi, don't say that their intention is to only reveal Atma as karta. Tat kenakam pashyed ityadi kriyakaraka phala nirakarana shrutehe. These statements, tat kenakam pashyed, yatra nanyat pashyadi, nanyat shranoti, nanyat vijanati, tat bhuma. In all these statements, it is very clear that the knower is not a karta. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanatah. When all the beings became Atma, that means the kartrutvam is definitely negated. Even jnatrutvam, the knowership of the Atma also is negated by these statements. And so the statements are very clear by Shruti. Tatra kenakam pashyed is the Shruti, meaning very clearly the Upanishad says tatra. Tatra means what? Okay, so tesham karma sheshasthavakatvam nabhati kintu jnana dvara karma tatsadhana nashakatvam eva. It is not that the vakyas of the Upanishad in fact are can be interpreted as merely extolling the karma. On the other hand, the very Vedanta vakya kintu jnana dvara karma tatsadhana nashakatvam eva. On the other hand, the Vedanta vakyas completely destroy the very basis for karma. So where the Mimamsakas, Pura Mimamsakas want to see the Vedanta Vakyas as serving the purpose of karma, the Vedantin wants to point out that very Vedanta Vakyas, in fact, they make the karma redundant. Jnanadvara karma tat sadhana nashakatvam eva. By revealing phala as amrutam or limitlessness, by revealing the phala of the Brahmajnanam as amrutatvam or limitlessness, the very need for karma is eliminated, because what more is to be attained? So, Brahmavid apnodi param. When one attains limitless as a result of knowledge of Brahman, then what remains to be attained? Nothing. And therefore, having known Brahman and therefore having attained limitless, there is no need to do anything. Na tasya karyam vidyate. So, tasya karyam na vidyate. There nothing remains to be done for this purpose. Therefore, revealing the phala, the very need for karma is eliminated. And also, how is Atma revealed? Atma is revealed at Nanyat Pashyati, Nanyat Shranoti, Nanyat Vijanadi. Where the seer is not there, that is what it meant. When the knowledge of Brahman or the true nature of the self takes place, there is no seer, there is no hearer, there is no talker, there is no doer. Meaning that all these Visheshas in the Atmas are negated. And that is when the true knowledge of Atma takes place. Atmana yathatmyam is what? Apavavidham, ekatvam, apavavidhatvam, shuddhatvam. So Atma is Shuddha, Apavavidha, Eka. This is how Atma is revealed by the Upanishad, and therefore even the karta also is eliminated. So need for karma is eliminated by stating that the result of Brahma Jnana is limitlessness. The very karta, the doer, performer also is eliminated by saying that kartrutvam is false. And even very devata also is eliminated by saying that Brahman alone is, which is limitless, and is not separate from me, and therefore upasana. All of that will be discussed. So karma tat sadhana nashakatvam eva bhati. What appears or what is clear is that actually Vedantas even completely pull the rug from under that whole basis of karma. That's why it is said tat kenakam pashe. That is how tat kenakam pashe. Tat means what? Tatra. Tat is to be understood as tatra. Tat kenakam pashe tat shabdasya vibhakti vyatyasena arthamaha is to be understood as seventh case rather than the first or the second case. So tat is understood as tatra. That is the vibhakti vyatyasa. By changing the vibhakti to seventh case, tatra means vidyakale, kaha means who? Karta, kena karanena, kam vishayam pashed iti shrutehe arthaha. Vidyakale, at the time of knowledge, meaning when really comes to know the truth, then kaha karta, the karta himself does not remain. Kena karanena, the karanam as separate from the karta also does not remain. Kam vishayam pashe, the vishaya or dhyaya or the jnaya, the object of knowledge other than the knower also does not remain. And therefore idea is that this duality of the Tripudi, of the knower, known and the knowledge completely resolves in the wake of the knowledge that the knower, known and knowledge, all of them spring from just one adhisthana, which is Chaitanyam or pure awareness. And that pure awareness alone is the knower, that alone is a known, and that alone is a knowledge. And when one recognizes that the true nature of the knower is in fact just awareness, because the knower also is constantly changing. And in the knower also, what is that changeless element? Because knower constantly changes with reference to what is known. And therefore, the knower also is a changing entity. Is there an element in the knower also which is changeless? And we find that even though the forms of knowledge just keep on changing, the knowledge per se, what we call the unqualified knowledge, alone assumes different forms of knowledge, or unqualified knowledge as to alone is the essence of the knower. That's the only thing. Of the knower also, knowledge is the only essential thing. Because the form of the knower keeps on changing, the essence is knowledge that remains unchanged. Or forms of knowledge also keeps on changing. Ghatagyanam, patagyanam, mathagyanam. And when we analyze every form of knowledge, then what do we find? That it is one unqualified knowledge which alone appears in different forms. In waking, dream or deep sleep state also, that awareness or pure unqualified knowledge is constant. And there is now that karanam, or the vishaya also, when you analyze the nature of the object also is what? Asti bhati and priyam. So Nama Rupa ultimately that reveals nothing but Asti, Bhati and Priyam. So Satchit and Ananda, this is the real nature of all the objects. So objects also reveal themselves to be nothing but Asti, Bhati, Priyam. The knower also is Asmi, Bhami, Priyam. And what we call the knowledge also is nothing but pure awareness. And thus, when the true nature of each one of these Tripudi is analyzed, then you find that each one of them resolves into just one essence. And therefore, the duality of the division between the knower and of the knower knowledge no more remains, and thus that very knower or the very doer also is proven to be false. And so who will perform the action now? Having known the self as non-doer and having known the doership to be false, there is no one who remains to perform the action. Therefore, karma tat sadhana nashakatvam. Karta is the first sadhan for karma. Karta is the first karaka for karma. And karma, the Vishaya, is another karaka for karma. And karanam, this instrument, is third karaka for karma. So karta, karma and karanam, these first three karakas are revealed there to be nothing but one awareness. And so all these three karakas are dismissed there as false, and therefore when all the karakas are gone, then where is the performer of the action, and with what will he perform the action? All that basis itself is completely eliminated. Ityartha. सुक्रियाकारक फल निराकरण श्रुते है. This Shruti, tat kenakam pashet, that Shruti actually eliminates the very sadhanam for performance of action. Therefore, you cannot imagine that these vakyas are meant to extol the karma. These vakyas in fact destroy the very basis for karma. So how can you extol or praise something by condemning it or by eliminating it? It cannot. You can't praise Rajiv Gandhi by killing him, You can't, that's the way he is praised, no? And so no, these LTT, whoever they are, want to extol Rajiv Gandhi. How can you do that? So similarly also these vakyas very eliminate the basis for karma. How can you say that they have karma stavakatvam? Cannot be. Then Purnanandiya says, Nanu tarhi arthavadanam vedantavat kriyaparatvam nasyaditi ashanka vaishamyamaha. So arthavadanam vedantavat kriyaparatvam nasyad. If these arthavadas will appear in Vedanta, if they are not kriyapara, then all the arthavadas will not be kriyapara. Suppose you want to extend that kind of a logic. Iti vaishamyamaha arthavadanam tu iti. Where are we anyway? Oh, that is the Ratna Prabha. Okay. So arthavadanam tu swarte phalabhavas tuti lakshanata iti bhavaha. So this is not arthavada. When the arthavada is there, arthavadanam tu swarte phalabhavat. Since arthavada do not have phala or tatparya in its own, meaning they do not mean what they say literally, swarte phala abhavat stuti lakshanata iti bhava. And therefore arthavada vakya do not lose their stavakatvam because those vakyas do not have the tatparya in the literal meaning. Like adityo yupaha, that this sacrificial post is sun, that doesn't have a meaning in its own, doesn't mean exactly what it says. Therefore we say that it is nothing but praising that stupa, the post, and that is how that post being part of karma. In some way or the other, the karma is praised there. Okay. Then Ratna Prabhakara continues. Yaduktam siddhatvena manantara vedyam brahmana vedartha iti tatraha. You said earlier also that parinishthita vastutvat brahmana manantara yogyatvam heopade rahityat so nishphalatvam. This was what I said earlier, that according to them parinishthita vastu, anything that obtains or an existing thing, Vedas cannot have their purport in revealing something that is already there, because what is already there can be known through other means of knowledge such as perception or inference, and therefore Vedas, which are pramanam for revealing those things which cannot be known by any other means of knowledge, so Vedas cannot necessarily or cannot be thought to be revealing something which is already there. Brahman is an already existing entity. If it is already existing, there must be some way of knowing, otherwise you don't even know that it is already existing. So that which is already existing must necessarily be known either by perception, inference or whatever, and therefore Vedas cannot possibly have any relevance to revealing something which is already there, because they will not have apurvata. A pramana must have apurvata, uniqueness, in as much as that object should not be the object of any other means of knowledge. So yaduktam siddhatvena, since Brahman is siddham, meaning it is already an existing thing, manantara vedyam brahma, and therefore Brahma must be manantara vedyam, must be an object of knowledge by some other means, na vedartha, and therefore it cannot be the tatparya of Veda, or cannot be the Veda vishaya. Tatraha. So now parinishthita vastu is being analyzed. Nacha iti. Says Purnanandiya, siddham brahma na vedartha manandara vedyatvat ghatavat iti yaduktam tad dushayati iti bhavaha. This kind of an anumanam was sort of presented by the Purva Pakshi. Siddham brahma na vedartha, Brahman which is already an existing thing cannot be vedartha, cannot be the subject matter of Veda. Manantara vedyatvat hetu. What is manantara vedyatvat? Because anything that is siddha must be manantara vedyam. Anything that obtains or exists must be known through other means. Ghatavat iti, like a pot, So like ghata. So just as a pot which is an existing thing is known perceptually, and therefore Vedas cannot have any activity or pravritti in terms of revealing ghata or describing ghata. If they describe ghata, it must be for some other purpose, not to reveal ghata as an object. And therefore, this anumana was presented there, tad dushayati. Finds here a fault with that anumanam or with that inference. Pakshe hetu asiddhe sopadikatvacha na anumanamit abhipretya pariharati. In what manner this anumanam dushayati? This inference is going to be found to be faulty. There are two faults. Pakshe hetu asiddhe. Paksha in this case is Brahma. Hetu asiddhe. Hetu is what? Manantar vedyatvam. That in Brahma, although in Ghata there is Manantara Vedyatvam, in Brahma the Manantara Vedyatvam, meaning Brahman cannot be known through any other means of knowledge because Brahma is Atindriyam. So Manantara Vedyatvam and Siddharthatvam is not necessarily common. If a Siddha Vishaya or an already existing thing is also simultaneously an object of the sense perception, then it is Manantara Vedyatvam. But there is no rule that Siddha Vishaya is necessarily Indriya Vishaya. It can be Atindriya also. So Brahma being Atindriya Vishaya doesn't have Manantara Vedyatvam. Ghata is also Siddha Vishaya. And Brahma also is Siddha Vishaya in that sense. But Ghata and Brahma are not in the same class, inasmuch as Ghata is what? Indriya Vishaya and Brahma is not. So that Indriya Vishayatvam becomes Upadhi. Upadhi means a peculiar factor associated with Ghata, which is not applicable to Brahma, and therefore the inference that is applicable when Ghata becomes a Drishtanta. The Drishtanta is not a universal Drishtanta in as much as the Drishtanta has a certain restriction. What is the restriction? Ghata is a Drishtanta which has Indriya Vishaya, which can be perceived, and therefore it restricts Ghata. In as much as every Siddhartha cannot be classified, Ghata cannot become the illustration for every Siddha Vishaya because Ghata is qualified by being Indriya Vishaya, and therefore it does not include all the Siddha Vishaya, namely Brahman, because Brahman is Atindriyam, and therefore this is called where in Drishtanta a peculiar condition exists which is not applicable to the Paksha or what you want to prove. This is called the Upadhitvam. The illustration that they give is Parvato Dhumavan Vanditvat. Illustration is Yatra Yatra Dhuma Tatra Tatra Vandihi. Wherever the smoke is, there the fire must be. But you cannot say wherever fire is, the smoke must be. But I saw it there, you saw it there, and still you cannot say that wherever fire is, smoke must be. Because where is the smoke? Ardrandhana Sanyogaha. Where the fuel is wet, then alone the smoke is. Suppose there can be something which can be burning and it doesn't have any moisture in there, then you won't find any smoke, like Ayogolakaha. Like an iron ball, even though it is on fire, still there is no smoke there because that Adrandhana Sanyoga, meaning the moisture is not there. So presence of moisture becomes the Upadhi or the peculiar factor which creates smoke in this particular condition. But if that peculiar factor is absent, smoke will not be there. And in this manner also it is Indriya Vishayatvam which because of which the Ghata is not Vedartha. If that Indriya Vishayatvam is not there, you cannot say that it is not Vedartha. This is the idea here. So Pakshe Hetu Asiddhe Sopadikatvacha. So Indriya Vishayatvam really is the Upadhi. And Manantara Vedyatvam therefore is not there in Paksha or Brahman. Na anumanamite abhipretya pariharti ahayati tatraha na chaiti. So Bhashyakara says na cha parinishthita vastu swarupatvepi pratyakshadi vishayatvam brahmanah तत्वमसि इति ब्रह्मात्म भावस्य शास्त्रमन्तरेण अनवगम्यमानत्वात् न च परिनिष्ठित वस्तु स्वरूपत्वेपि ब्रह्मणः. Even though Brahma is parinishthita vastu, meaning already an existing thing, even though api, in spite of Brahman being an already an existing entity, pratyakshadi vishayatvam na sambhavati. We cannot say that Brahman is necessarily the vishaya of pratyaksha, etc. Because it is not, it is atindriyam, because it is beyond the sense perception. Tattvamasi iti brahmatma bhavasya. Tattvamasi is what? Brahmatma bhava. Tat is Brahma and Tvam is Atma. So Tattvamasi, that statement reveals what? Brahma is Atma. So Brahmatma bhavasya Shastra mantarena anavagamyamanatvat. There is no way that you can ever even suspect that you are Brahman. No one can ever even suspect that I am what I am seeking. No one can suspect that I am a complete being. No one can suspect, because our experience reveals ourselves as what? All the time inadequate and incomplete beings. And therefore, in fact, all our search is based on this, a conclusion on our part that I am an incomplete being. And therefore, I naturally and effortlessly find myself in search for completeness. So when I am looking for completeness elsewhere, how can I ever suspect even that complete being is myself? And therefore, unless this is pointed out, there is no way that one can ever discover, like the 10th man, there is no way that he can ever discover that he himself is the 10th man. When already he has concluded the 10th man is lost and is searching for the 10th man, no way he can ever. And is it possible that someday, he goes up and down, someday he will stumble with the 10th man? That's what some people believe. Someday they'll find out. Someday they'll find out Brahman, I'm telling you. How will they find out? Someday this 10th fellow will find out the 10th man. How? Somewhere on the mountain top. He will stumble upon the 10th man. Can you stumble upon the 10th man? You cannot stumble upon Atma, you cannot stumble upon Brahman, just as 10th man cannot stumble upon the 10th man, because he is the 10th man. And therefore, Tattvamasi, that thou art can never, somehow Tatpada you can infer as Sarvajnam, Sarvashakti, etc. And Tvam-pada also perhaps you might come to know, but then still Karta Abhokta is what we in fact is our direct experience. And therefore, that I am a Karta Abhokta, one can never in fact come to know. So, Shastra Mantarena, by means other than Shastra, Anavagamyamanatvat, one can never come to know. Meaning this Tattvamasi is Atindriyam. This identity or oneness between Jiva and Brahma is not an Indriya Vishaya. Indriyas or our experience only reveals the contrary. And therefore, this is something that can never be revealed by our present experience. It is something that can be revealed only by Shruti, and then we have to verify it. When Shruti says that, then we start looking at life in a different way. Wait a minute. I am looking for happiness. Is it elsewhere? I start asking this question. Is happiness somewhere else? Separated from me in time, place or condition? Where is it? Then I realize that nastya kritah kritena, that uncreated can never be created by any karma or cannot be produced or achieved. And thus I realize that the happiness which I am searching for is necessarily happiness which cannot be limited by any time, place or condition. And that unconditional happiness I am looking for, not just happiness. It is not that man is only looking for happiness, otherwise it's okay. If mere happiness were the purpose of man's life, then he can find it here and there. It's not mere happiness that he is searching for, it's unconditional happiness he is searching for. He wants happiness without any condition. He doesn't want to be controlled. Nobody wants to be controlled. You will be happy if you acquire me. Suppose this thing tells me that as long as I am with you, you can be happy. He says, no, I don't want to be bothered. Or if I am away, then you can be happy. He says, why should I be bothered? Or if you do this up and go up and down, then you will be happy. I want to be happy the way I want to be. That's what everyone wants. Since I have no choice, therefore I may go up and down and do jumping up. Anything I will do today. Since I have no choice. You go to Timbuktu, then you will be happy. So I will go there. Because I am not happy here. But if I had my way, then what? If Sita and Savitri had their way, then the history would have been different, Since Rama and Krishna and all these people had their way, therefore history or what Purana or Itihasa is in one way. But suppose Rukmini had to write or Satyabhama had to write, I guess these Bhagavatam or Mahabharata would have been different. And similarly also, since life has its own way, therefore I am obliged to search for happiness in the way that life dictates. But suppose I had my way, then like that Muhammad Begada, he would not want to exert at all. He will have all the objects of enjoyment, he would surround himself by them. Now he feels like eating grapes, here they are. Now he wants dry fruit, here it is. Then he wants rasagulla, there it is. And whatever it is. Fortunately, he only wanted to eat, that's all. He didn't want anything else. But then we are not satisfied. Then I want to have a move on to watch a movie. I want to see the president or the prime minister on the TV. No, you cannot have it at your command, You have to wait when he decides to appear on the TV, etc. And then also you may find it is not what you want to see him to be, and whatever it is, And so that different kind of things can be there. And therefore we find today that the happiness that we are experiencing is very highly conditional. It leaves all things to be desired, and more often than not it leads to disappointment more than appointment. And therefore, even though I have to contend with this kind of a thing because I don't have a choice, if I had my way, then I would want things at my command. And to such an extent that I will not even want to turn on. I think and it is there. And subsequently I would not even want to take the trouble of thinking if I had my way. Meaning that the happiness that man wants is effortless, involving no effort at all. Not separated from me in any way. Somebody said, if I get, somebody else says, suppose Lata Mangeshkar decides to marry me, some people had all kinds of dreams, then I would ask her to sing whole day, that's all. That's what he would want. That you have to wait for the Binaga Geetmala for a particular song, etc. Nothing doing, So you want to have things at your command. So man always wants independence and freedom and no conditions. Everyone wants unconditional things. Who wants conditions? No one wants conditions. Therefore Brahman that is unconditioned alone is what is desirable, not conditioned Brahma in any way. If I am satisfied with conditions in my life, well and good. I cannot be satisfied. So I would not want any separation from happiness in terms of time, place or effort. I want effortless happiness. Oh, you have it in deep sleep. I am not happy with it. I want to know that I am happy. It's not enough that I am happy. I want to know that I am happy. And therefore I want effortless, awareful happiness. And not happiness that comes and goes away. Effortless, awareful, lasting happiness. That's what I want. And that is what? Satchit Ananda. And so, this happiness, that is how when they say Tattvamasi, then I start thinking, what am I looking for in life? Then this is what I find. That is Akritam. Happiness such as this cannot be created. If it is created, means created as a result of effort. I don't want effort. Then I may do whatever I want to do, but at my condition. Wise man also will work, but not because he has to work. I don't want to be told to do things. I will do if I want to do. And that is how Tattvamasi, when it is said, you are the 10th man. Wait a minute. Did I miss something here? Have I missed something in my life? Then I find out that yes, I have missed something. I have not looked. Tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. Since the mind and the sense organs are always directed outward, man always looks out for solution of his problems. Tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. He never looks at the self. I start looking at myself. The conclusions I have about myself, are these valid conclusions? So Vishidantam, this Arjuna is grieving. Is there a reason for grieving? Or is there a grief in Atma? Let alone the reason. Is Atma really grieving? Let us say that. Here Lord Krishna says you are grieving for no reason at all. But in fact Lord Krishna says, who says you are grieving? You are not grieving. Thus the conclusions I have drawn about the self, are these valid conclusions? And thus person starts thinking, Shastramantarena anavagamyamanatvad. This truth of Tat being Tvam being Tam, Tat can never in fact ever be arrived at by means other than Shastra. That is how Bhashyakara says that even though Brahma is Parinishthita Vastu, even then it cannot be known through means other than Shastra. And therefore The kind of logic you arrive at because of Ghata Pata cannot be arrived at by Brahman, because Ghata or Pata is not an illustration for Brahman. Brahman is of a different class. So Paksha. Pakshe Hetu Asiddhehe. What is the Hetu? Manantar Yogyatvat. That Ghata is available for means of knowledge other means of knowledge. And therefore, it cannot be Vedartha. If Vedas are the Pramanam, then necessarily what the Vedas reveal should not become the object of knowledge by other means of knowledge. And since I know a thing by other means of knowledge, therefore Vedas cannot address themselves to that thing. And that's how they say, Ghataha na Vedarthaha. And therefore, Siddham Brahma. Then anything that is Siddham, that's where the Ghata illustration is applicable. But it is not a universal illustration, it's a qualified illustration. Upadhi means qualification is there. What is the qualification? Manandara Vedyatvam is there, or Indriya Vishyatvam is there. And Brahman doesn't have Indriya Vishyatvam, and therefore Ghata is not an apt illustration there. Hetu Asiddhe and Sopadhi. This is called Upadhi. So Sopadhigatvacha na anumanam iti abhipretya pariharati ahayati. Vyavahitam padam yojayati tattvamasi iti shastra mantarena sambandha. So tattvamasi iti shastra mantarena brahmatma bhavasya anavagamyamanatvat. That brahmatma bhava cannot be known by a means other than this shastra tattvamasi. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sūtra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Atha Tattu Samanvayad. 134 Mashya, 4th line. न च तद्गतानां पदानां ब्रह्मस्वरूप विषये निश्चिते समन्वये अवगम्यमाने अर्थान्तरकल्पना युक्ता श्रुतहानि अश्रुतकल्पना प्रसंगा न च तेषां कर्तृस्वरूप प्रतिपादन परता अवसीयते तत्केन कं पश्येत् इत्यादि क्रियाकारक फल निराकरण श्रुतेः न च परिनिष्ठित वस्तुस्वरूपत्वेपि प्रत्यक्षादि विषयत्वं ब्रह्मणः तस्त्वमसि इति ब्रह्मात्मभावस्य शास्त्रमन्तरेण अनवगम्यमानत्वात्. So we cannot say that the Vedantas reveal our Kartru Swarupa Pratipadana Parata. That Vedantas have their Tatparya in revealing the nature of Karta. It is in fact their Tatparya is in revealing Brahmatmanaha. So Brahmatma Bhavam, Brahmatma Bhavaha, to reveal that Atma is Brahma or Brahma is none other than Atma, to reveal this is the purport of the Vedanta. and not merely to reveal Kartru Swarupa by praising him. And also, Parinishthita Vastu Swarupatve Sati Api. Even though, so general rule that was stated earlier is that which is already an existing thing must necessarily be available for knowledge by other means of knowledge. And therefore the general rule according to Mimamsakas is that the Vedas would not deal with something that is already an existing thing, because that which is existing must necessarily be known through other means of knowledge such as perception or any means of knowledge based on perception. Says no, this is an exception. There is no rule that which is already an existing thing, there is no rule that it must necessarily be known by perception or other means of knowledge. You must add a condition there. What is it? Manantara yogyatve sati or indriya vishayatve sati parinishthita vastutvat. You can say that Vedas will not have to deal with an object which is already existing and at the same time an object of perception or that which is perceptible. So that which is perceptible will not be addressed by Vedas, because that we can know today or tomorrow. Therefore it is said, in Ratnaprabha, यदुक्तम सिद्धत्वेन मानांतरवेद्यम ब्रह्मण वेदार्थ इत्यत्र तत्राह न च परीति. यदुक्तम, what was said by you earlier, सिद्धत्वेन मानांतरवेद्यम ब्रह्म. Since siddhatvena manandravedyam, since it is siddhan, so siddhatvat manandravedyam, this is what is accepted by them. According to them, siddhatvam and manandravedyatvam always go together. Whenever this kind of an association is there, then you can say siddhatvena manandravedyatvam, siddhatve sati. Since it is siddhatvam and therefore manandravedyam, there Brahma na vedartha. Says no. Now, says Ratnava continuing, Dharmo na vedartha sadhyatvena pakavat manantar vedyatvat. Pakavat sadhyatvena manantar vedyatvat. See, just as Brahma siddhatvena manantar vedyatvat na vedartha, similarly also about your dharma. You say that dharma is vedartha. Vedartha means that which is revealed by Vedas or that which is subject matter of Vedas. Why? Because it is sadhya vishaya. According to them, dharma is sadhya vishaya, meaning something to be created. And something to be created necessarily requires Vedas. Because you do not know the relationship between the karma and the karma phala, and dharma being of the nature of karma phala like swarga etc. or punya, papa, punya, therefore it is something that has to be revealed only by the Vedas, and therefore dharma being sadhya vishaya, it must be vedartha, it cannot be manantar vedya. He says, well, again, sadhyatvena sati, so if you say dharma na vedartha sadhyatvat, you say this much, dharma na vedartha sadhyatvat. Anything that is sadhyam or anything to be accomplished or attained cannot be vedartha. Then paka means cooking. So food also is something to be accomplished in the sense that you take the food and then cook. So by process of cooking you accomplish what we call the cooked food. Then alone it becomes food, otherwise it is grains. So food or paka also is what? Sadhya vishaya. Something to be accomplished as a result of performance of action, and that also is an ishta sadhanam because it helps me appease the hunger, and therefore this food also very well falls in the category of that which is ishta vishaya, meaning that which is a means for attainment of something that I desire. At the same time, it is something to be accomplished as a result of performance of action. And then, what is the characteristic? So, sadhyatvat dharma na vedartha sadhyatvat pakavat. Suppose we say, then there will be a problem there, because there is no need, there is no rule that which is sadhyam cannot be vedartha or has to be vedartha, because paka is not. So what is the difference between paka also is sadhya vishaya and dharma also is sadhya vishaya? Now what is the difference between them? Manantara vedyatvam. That dharma is not manantara vedya, whereas this paka is what? Manantara vedya. So condition should be manantara vedyatve sadi sadhyatvat Pakaha na Veda Vishaya. Dharma is not Manantar Vedya, and therefore you would supply an additional condition. Manantar Vedyatve Sati. Paka means food. Since food is something that can be known, that the grains are perceived by us. That whole prakriya of how the boiling takes place, everything is known by us. All of that is perceived. And therefore, without the help of Vedas or without the help of scriptures, we can cook food. You don't require vidhi, that may you boil the water for 10 minutes. You vidhi, So may you take, for making khichdi, rice equal to 3 inches and dal equal to 1 inch, and add the water 3 inches above that, and then may you boil it for 17 minutes, and then may you leave it for 55 minutes or whatever it is. So that kind of a vidhi or instruction Vedas need not give. We ourselves can evolve. This vidhi, even a cookbook will give you. But this is a vidhi that we can ourselves evolve, because rice, dal, water, boiling, all of these are perceptible. And therefore we can ourselves work it out and arrive at how to cook khichdi. Therefore, because it is perceptible, the whole process is perceptible or object of our experience, and therefore we do not require Shastra to tell us this. So this Manantara Vedyatvam, which distinguishes this Paka from Dharma, is called Upadhi. Because that unique condition or that adventitious condition actually is satisfied in case of Paka, and therefore it does not quite fall in the category of Dharma, even though both of them are sadhya, all right, but still Paka or food has an additional condition, that it is perceptible. Indriya Vishaya, meaning Manantara means other than Vedas. So Manantara Yogya hai. So it is known by means other than Vedas, and therefore this Manantara Vedyatam is called Upadhi. If you look there at Purna Drishtante Sadhyavapakatvat Pakshe Sadhana Avyapakatvat Manantara Yogyatvam Upadhi iti bhava hai. Drishtante Sadhyavapakatvat, Drishtanta is Paka, where Sadhyavapakatvam, that Sadhyatvam, is the hetu which obtains in Drishtanta. No, Manantara Vedyatvam, it obtains in Drishtanta, but Pakshe Avyapakatvat, however, Paksha meaning in Dharma, it is not there, and therefore this Manantara Yogyatvam becomes the Upadhi. Uktam Dushanadrayam Dvayam Pratibandhaya Sphudikarat Dharmona Vedartha iti, both of these. So Pakshe Hetu Asiddhe and Sopadikatvacha. These two Dushanas are there in this Anumanam. Hetu Asiddhe, that Hetu, namely this Manantara Vedyatvam is not there, plus Manantara Vedyatvam also happens to be Upadhi. And therefore, these two Dushanas are there in Anumanam. So Dharmona Vedartha, Purnananda explains. Dharme, that is not Dharmo, but Dharme Veda Eva Manam. That is how it should be. Dharme Veda Eva Manam. In case of Dharma, Vedas alone are Pramanam. Tasmad Dharmo na Vedartha. Therefore, you cannot say that Dharma is not Vedartha. Dharma is Vedartha, meaning Dharma is that which is subject matter of Vedas, because the Dharma, Veda alone is a Pramanam for Dharma. Iti Ukta Anumana Hetoho Asiddhi. So, Manantara Vedyatvam is not there in case of Dharma, and therefore that Hetu is not there. Hetu is what? Manantara Vedyatvam. Then, na Veda, Ghataha na Vedartha Manantara Vedyatvat. That Ghata, Pata, etc. are not revealed by the Vedas because they can be perceived or they are available for a means of knowledge other than Veda. So, Ghataha na Vedartha Manantara Vedyatvat. Brahma na Vedartha, you cannot say, because that Manantara Vedyatvam is not in Brahma, which is Paksha. So Hetu is not there in Paksha. And then Anumana Hetoho Asiddhi, Manantara Yogyatvam Upadisya. And then Ghataha na Vedartha Siddhatvat. Tasmat Brahma na Vedartha, so Siddhatvat. So, okay, Ghata and Brahma enjoy both of them, the Hetu is there, Siddhatvam. However, Ghata is Siddha Vishaya, Manantara Vedyatve Sati Siddha Vishaya. Whereas Brahma is not Manantara Vedyam, and therefore, in that Anumanam, see, two kinds of Anumanas are presented here. So first anumanam is what? That Brahma na vedartha parinishthita vastutvat or siddhatvat. Here there is what we call upadhi, namely manantara vidyatvam. And where Brahma na vedartha manantara vidyatvat ghatavat, when we say that, then in Brahma that hetu, namely manantara vidyatvam, is not there. And that is how when manantara vidyatvam is presented as hetu, then pakshe hetu asiddhi. And where siddharthatvam is presented as hetu, then manantara vidyatvam becomes upadhi. But anyway, as we said here, that in Ghata and Brahma there is something in common. Both of them are siddha vishaya. Both of them are things that are already existing. However, you cannot apply the rule that you apply to Ghata, you cannot apply to Brahman, because Ghata is Indriya Vishaya, where Brahma is not Indriya Vishaya, and therefore the Indriya Vishayatvam or Manantara Yogyatvam is something unique about Ghata. Therefore it is not Vedartha, and that does not obtain in Brahma. Therefore Brahma is Vedartha. So Manantara Yogyatvam Upadishyati Yadi Dushyeda. This same problem would happen with Dharma when Dharma is compared with Paka. So Brahma is Siddham, so compared to Ghata. Dharma is Sadhya, therefore compared to Paka. Then also same problems will happen, and therefore, as we said, there also Uktanumana Hetoho Asiddhi and Manantara Yogyatvam Upadhi. So Dharma na Vedartha Pakavat